to make you feel my love.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 most unforgettable Glee moments.
This is a song that I sang the first time I ever met the love of my life.
I'm pregnant.
Whoever thought that being fluid meant you could be so stuck?
For this list, we've chosen memorable moments from this musical comedy series' 6 seasons. In case you still haven't seen the whole show, a spoiler alert is now in effect. Which moment stuck with you over the years? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Me Against the Music and Britney Spears.
Hey Britney, are you ready?
When Glee returned for season 2, the second episode, Britney, encapsulated everything that made the second season so joyous and enjoyable to watch. The entire Me Against the Music sequence is beautifully filmed and edited, and it serves to showcase Heather Morris's incredible talent as a dancer.
All my people on the floor, let me see you dance. All my people wanting more, let me see you dance.
Oh, and did we forget to mention that Britney Spears herself shows up? Her cameo caps an already mesmerizing musical number, and sets a high precedent for the rest of the season, and for more high-profile guest stars to come.
You're really hot.
You're sweet.
And your breath smells really good.
So does yours. And you know why? Because this is a fantasy.
Number 19, Bert Hummel's heart attack.
Considering that I've dedicated a week of my musical life to you, I hope you can see it in your heart to answer my prayers.
After Finn sees what looks like Jesus in the grill marks of his grilled cheese, he turns the Glee Club to religion. At the same time, Kurt's father Bert suffers a devastating heart attack and is placed in the hospital.
I don't understand what you're saying. When is he gonna wake up?
Bert's heart attack is of course horribly sad, and it makes for some beautiful scenes involving Kurt. That bedside talk regarding an undercooked chicken is particularly touching.
You put it on the table, and you cut into it, and it was raw. And we both looked at each other for a second and cracked up before we remembered that we weren't supposed to yet.
But his heart attack also helps lead to some welcome character development for both Kurt and Sue, whose beliefs are directly tied to her sister's Down syndrome.
God never makes mistakes. That's what I believe.
Isn't it just like Glee to glean themes of faith and religion from a grilled cheese sandwich?
I don't believe in God, Dad. But I believe in you.
Number 18, Rachel's departure. As season 3 draws to a close, we find out Rachel is the only member of Glee Club to get accepted into a school in New York.
Are you sure that we're going the right way?
While she insists on waiting a year so that Kurt and Finn can reapply, Finn has different plans. Instead of going through with their wedding, he drives her to the train station.
You're gonna go there in the fall. All right, you're not deferring. We're not getting married.
He tells her in order for her to go after her dreams, Finn has to set Rachel free.
You gotta have these experiences your own. I can't have to be there with you.
Wait a minute. Are you breaking up with me?
I'm setting you free.
If that wasn't already a lot to process, Finn tells her he's joining the army.
You're gonna get on that train, okay? And you're gonna go to New York, and you're gonna be a star without me.
Although this was a gut-wrenching scene, at least Rachel gets a proper farewell, surrounded by the voices and people she loved so much. Number 17, Coach Beiste leaves Cooter Menkins. Coach Beiste initially served as a bit of a joke character, especially in Never Been Kissed, when the kids used their coach to cool off during makeout sessions.
Coach, don't take it personally.
I do take it personally, Will. I take it very, very personally.
But over time, we saw that Coach Beiste was a complex and troubled character, stuck in an abusive relationship, and used a tough exterior to hide secret pain and vulnerability.
He started yelling, and I tried to calm him down, and then he hit me.
Despite giving Cooter a second chance, Coach Beiste finally leaves him in a triumphant moment of self-love and respect in season 3's Props.
I got shame about what happened between us, but I leave that here with my ring and with you.
And while a lesser show may have made this departure cheesy and cartoonishly uplifting, here it's portrayed as painful and difficult.
I don't hate you! That's the awful part of it! I love you! But what does that say about what I think of me?
Coach Beiste loves Cooter Menkins, but chooses self-love first. Number 16, The Double Wedding.
What are those? Brittany, what's going on?
After 6 seasons of toying with our emotions, these two on-again, off-again couples finally tied the knot in one of Glee's final episodes.
My amazing friend, my one true love. Will you marry me?
Fans rejoiced when Blaine proposed to Kurt back in season 5, but were devastated when their engagement was cut short.
We had a great run, but let's just call it quits before we completely hate each other.
When Santana and Brittany reveal their master plan to have their friends get married alongside them at their own wedding, viewers were screaming, "Do it!"
I'm gonna keep it simple. Brittany S. Pierce. Will you marry me?
Wait, what is happening?
So not only did we get the Britannia wedding of our dreams, we also got the double wedding we didn't even know we needed, and we couldn't have been more satisfied.
It's time for all of us to walk into the sunshine together. Forever. Is that something you want to do?
I do.
I do.
I do. I do.
Number 15. Shelby is Rachel's mother.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
They look amazing.
When Broadway legend Idina Menzel first guest starred on the show as head of the rival Glee Club vocal Adrenaline, viewers noted how much she and Rachel looked alike.
But the tigers come at night. But the tigers come at night. With their voices soft as thunder.
It didn't take long for it to be revealed to us that she was indeed playing Rachel's on-screen birth mother, though it's hard to believe the actresses aren't related in real life.
Mom? Honey, you gotta stop sneaking into these rehearsals.
It took longer still for Rachel to find out that Shelby was her mother. Unfortunately, Rachel doesn't get the fairy tale ending she hopes for, since Shelby doesn't want that kind of relationship with her. But at least we get to hear them sing together.
She's got to love nobody.
Number 14. Will and Emma get married.
I figured out that I can't handle the pressure of a big wedding. So, I told Will if we're gonna get married, that I wanted an intimate ceremony in a special place, surrounded by the people that we love.
While Glee mostly centers around the love lives of the kids in the Glee Club, one of the cutest romances of the show is that of co-workers Will and Emma. After overcoming bad marriages, relationships with other people, and even one failed attempt at a big church wedding, it all comes down to this simple moment. Without a huge and fancy ceremony to scare her, Emma's finally able to exchange vows with the man she loves, and recalls how she loved him from the gooey start.
Whenever things in my head get all gooey and sticky and messy and I can't get them out, you always come along and you make me feel clean and you make me feel whole again.
Surrounded by the Glee Club in the choir room, these two finally and quickly skip to the part we'd all been waiting for.
Will, Emma, Wemma, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Number 13. Finn proposes to Rachel.
Look, I have something to talk to you about, but I want you to promise me that you won't say a word until I'm done.
There are so many couples on this show we eventually lost track, but we always kept our eyes on Finchel. These two always had feelings for each other, even when they were dating other people. After Will proposes to Emma, Finn decides he wants to spend his life with Rachel, and decides to pop the question himself.
I just feel like all my life I've been, wondering if I was going to be as much of a man as my father was. Now all of a sudden I'm up at night worried that I'm going to become the man who he was.
On the auditorium stage where their romance first blossomed, Finn talks about how much of an inspiration Rachel has been to him. Without any grandiose gestures, he gives a heartfelt and genuine speech.
You're like a beacon of light guiding me through the darkness. You're like this big gold star, and for some bizarre reason, you chose to let me love you.
Finally, he takes out the ring and asks a surprised Rachel to marry him.
Rachel Berry, will you marry me?
Number 12, the Prom Meltdowns.
And now, the 2011 McKinley High Prom Queen, with an overwhelming number of write-in votes, is Kurt Hummel.
On his prom night, Kurt is the victim of a cruel prank and is announced as prom queen. It wouldn't be Glee without even more drama though, as we see Finn fight Rachel's prom date Jessie. Brittany consoles an upset Santana, and Rachel was blamed for Quinn losing the title of queen.
Quinn, you need to calm down.
This is your fault. Nobody ever would have voted for me because they know he would rather be with you.
That's not true.
This episode in particular tackles tough subjects like homophobia, and shows Kurt for the strong character he is when he comes back to accept his crown.
Eat your heart out, Kate Middleton.
Unfortunately, prom king Karofsky isn't ready to show who he truly is, and refuses to dance with Kurt. Fortunately, however, this disastrous prom does have its heartfelt moments, and the next year's prom goes much better when Santana and Quinn rig the votes so Rachel and Finn win prom queen and king.
McKinley Titans, bow down to your new leaders.
Number 11, Quinn Is Pregnant.
Whatever I did, I'm sorry.
I'm pregnant.
Season 1 introduced us to the squeaky clean Quinn Fabray, head cheerleader, president of the Celibacy Club, and girlfriend to jock Finn Hudson. So it came as a shock to viewers, and especially Finn, when Quinn got pregnant.
I'll stand by you.
Finn, a sweetheart but not always the brightest, accepted that he was the father and even sang to the unborn child, even though he and Quinn never had sex. Meanwhile, the baby's actual father, Puck, proved he was ready for fatherhood.
Beth, I know you're lonely, and I hope you'll be alright, 'cause me and the boys will be playing all night.
Both boys' songs dedicated to the unborn child melted viewers' hearts. Ultimately, the baby would find a home instead with Rachel's birth mother, Shelby. But needless to say, the entire experience made Quinn grow into a strong woman, despite everything thrown at her.
Come on, get off, knock it off, get off, get off. Hey, tell the truth! Punk just walked in and sucker punched me.
Number 10, Dave Karofsky's Breaking Point.
Life's too short to even care at all. Whoa.
It's terrible.
Glee is not the type of show to resort to one-dimensional characters. In the first season, Karofsky was portrayed as a little more than a bumbling idiot of a bully.
I'm waiting for this cough syrup to come down, come down.
Yet, the writers expanded his character, and by the third season, his mental health has deteriorated to a critical point, dramatically paired with Blaine singing Young the Giant's Cough Syrup, a haunting song about burying pain and feeling numb. Dave shockingly makes an attempt on his own life.
Waiting for this cough syrup to come down.
While many point to Teenage Dream as Blaine's defining moment, one could certainly make a case for this stirring scene. It's a nicely edited and scored sequence that adds complexity to a one-note villain, while Darren Criss sings his heart out.
Number 9, Santana's Confession.
Hi. Can we talk?
While Finn and Rachel's relationship was a focal point of the series, audiences also had their eyes peeled for this couple.
I'm angry because I have all of these feelings. Feelings for you that I'm afraid of dealing with.
In season 2, Santana becomes tired of the friends with benefits arrangement she has with Brittany, and she can't keep her feelings inside any longer.
I love you, and I don't want to be with Sam, Finn, or any of those other guys. I just want you.
The two confess their love for one another, but Brittany can't commit to anything since she loves Artie too.
I don't want to hurt him. That's not right. I can't break up with him.
Yes, you can. He's just a stupid boy.
Santana, on the other hand, is concerned about her reputation as she previously struggled with her sexuality and is afraid of how she'll be perceived.
If Artie and I were to ever break up, and I'm lucky enough that you're still single.
Luckily, despite the boundaries keeping them apart, this romance was far from over.
Whoever thought that being fluid meant you could be so stuck? Get off me.
Number 8, Seasons of Love.
525,600 minutes.
As fun as the bombastic musical numbers like Me Against the Music are, nothing beats a touching song from the heart. Such is the case with the quarterback's Seasons of Love from Rent. This beautiful sequence sees the New Direction saying goodbye to Finn.
525,000 journeys to plan.
As much as it works within the context of the show, we can't divorce fiction from reality. This is a beautiful send-off for actor Corey Monteith from both old and new cast members, and it sets the melancholic tone for the rest of the episode. Like a funeral, it's both sweet and heartbreaking in equal measure.
Measure your life in love. Seasons of love.
Number 7. Bert and Carol get married.
'Cause it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you.
As much as this episode is about Bert and Carol's wedding, and trust us, we love Bert and Carol, it's just as much about the union of Finn and Kurt as stepbrothers. The two Glee Club members didn't hit it off at first because Kurt had a huge crush on Finn, and Finn felt awkward around him, which became especially apparent when they moved in together and Finn insulted Kurt's extravagant decor. But during their parents' wedding, when Finn sings to Kurt, it becomes clear that they now love each other like real brothers and want nothing more than to be one big happy family, making the day even more special for Bert and Carol.
When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change.
Number 6. Quinns Car Crash.
On My Way is quite a difficult episode to watch. The episode ends on an ambiguous and terrifying note when Quinn is involved in a horrible car accident. Wanting to know where her bridesmaid is, Rachel texts Quinn and inadvertently dooms her to paralysis, as Quinn gets distracted by the text and runs a stop sign. It's a chilling note to end the episode on. We only wish that something more emotionally impacting would have come of it, because her miraculous and speedy recovery was a little bizarre.
I promise that by the time we go to nationals, I'll be out of this chair and dancing on that stage.
Number 5. Teenage Dream Acoustic Version.
This is a song that I sang the first time I ever met the love of my life. So Kurt, this is for you.
How could we forget the heartbreaking rendition Blaine performs for Kurt in Season 4's The Breakup?
We can dance until we die.
It serves as an intentional callback to the legendary Season 2 performance, which was sung with vitality and passion, thanks to the budding feelings between Blaine and Kurt. On the other hand, this acoustic version is raw and darker, literally, which serves to illustrate their respective headspaces and relationship troubles.
You make me feel like a teenage dream.
The stark contrast helps contextualize their breakup, and it makes us yearn for simpler, happier times like their first kiss.
Number 4. Nationals Victory.
And now, a round of applause to your top 3 finalists for this year's National Show Choir Championship.
The Glee Club constantly proved they were about more than performing, since we saw friendships, relationships, and lifelong bonds formed there. But sometimes all we wanted was to see them compete against other Glee Clubs.
We didn't even place.
Throughout the first 2 seasons, New Directions came dead last during regionals and lost nationals because of an unplanned onstage kiss. So by the time Season 3 rolled around, they, and we, wanted the title. Bad. Opening with a bang with Edge of Glory, Rachel then brings the house down with her rendition of It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
But when you touch me like this, and you hold me like that, I just have to admit that it's all coming back to me.
Finally, the entire cast delivers an energetic and dynamic cover of a Meatloaf tune.
So now I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and arrive. 'Cause if I gotta spend another minute with you, I don't think that I can really survive.
It doesn't come as a surprise, but we're incredibly satisfied when they win a Nationals trophy.
From McKinley High in Lima, Ohio, the New Direction.
Number 3. Faithfully.
Highway run into the midnight sun.
This was the moment we were all waiting for, and it was just as beautiful as we had imagined. As they're preparing to take the stage at regionals, Finn walks over to Rachel and proudly professes his love to her, leaving her literally speechless.
Break a leg?
I love you.
The two then perform a gorgeous rendition of Journey's Faithfully, complete with many longing looks and a spine-tingling reveal of the new directions on stage.
They say that the road ain't no place to start a family.
We're not sure if this is the most iconic duet in Glee history, but it's certainly up there.
I'm forever yours, faithfully.
It was a great song choice, a great performance, and there was great meaning behind the song itself. It was a perfect end to a perfect season of television.
I'm still yours, faithfully.
Number 2, Don't Stop Believin' performance.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
You didn't think we'd forget this, did you? In a simple but impassioned performance of the Journey hit, Glee proved from its pilot how good the cast could be.
A singer in a smoky room.
A smell of wine and cheap perfume.
What's more, without this epic performance, Will might have given up on the Glee Club. It's Don't Stop Believin' that makes him realize a place for kids to feel safe and accepted is possible and worth fighting for.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
The song acts as an anthem for what the show's all about, remaining one of their most iconic performances. Don't Stop Believin' was revisited 5 more times during the show, including the first part of the series finale where Will remembers that first time. It brought the Glee Club together in the first place, and made us believe in Glee from the start.
Don't stop.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Pure Imagination.
If you wanna view paradise, simply look around and view it.
Will Schuester and Emma Pillsbury's First Kiss. Kurt Hummel Comes Out.
I'm gay.
I know.
Really?
I've known since you were 3.
Finn Hudson Out Santana Lopez.
Hey, Santana, why don't you just come out of the closet?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Rachel sings after Finn's death.
Nobody treat me with kid gloves, okay?
This is a moment that Glee fans still can't get over. Corey Monteith, who played Finn on the show, tragically died in July 2013 before the cast began shooting season 5. With the cast and crew left in shock, production was postponed.
Oh, if I die young, bury me in satin, lay me down on a bed of roses, sink me in the river at dawn, send me away with the words of a love song.
When season 5 did return, it did so on a high note. But in the 3rd episode, they finally paid tribute to Monteith by addressing the death of his character Finn.
How do parents go on when they lose a child? You know, when I would see that stuff on the news, I'd shrug it off because it was just too horrible to think, but I would always think, how do they wake up every day?
Besides the opening number where the entire cast sings a song in his honor, as well as Santana's breakdown, Lea Michele's performance was most notable, as she had been Monteith's real-life girlfriend.
I couldn't make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do.
When Rachel sang Make You Feel My Love in his memory, we all felt it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.